Not sure what to do here. Well, somebody's on their way. Of course, there's also the question of how is it that this thing is getting these other numbers? What green is putting... All right, there's another problem. Why is there a 41 on here? Oh, because this is here now. So that's kind of screwing this up because this is now putting that on the green network. Not really a fan of that song. Let's see. Well, I could put it in the 60-second clause. I could give another 60-second clause and or it with that H. Or I could and that's, yeah. H greater than 4. So what we're saying here is that if all of the hands have something in them, if 4 of the hands have something in them, and you've been here for have nothing in them, and you've been here for more than a minute, then leave. Or try to leave. I'm kind of wondering if I should force this to be. I got this other value I need to figure out too. Sorry. All right, so that releases the train when any empty wagon. Now I need to redo this and probably do more math and add another combinator. So my threshold next size 50. Single side is 8K. Train wagon, single wagon is 2K. So I'm going to train at 8K minus 2K, which is 6K. At 8K minus 4K, which is 4K. That's percentages, and I don't want to deal with that. It'd be easier if I was only trying to summon one train as well. So my stack size actually tells me everything I need to know. If I look at the 100 stack size, how do we get to 12,000 from a stack size of 100? That's the wrong one. I wanted to copy this one. So stack size times 40 is 4,000, and we're going to change this to like 8. So that's 4,000. I don't want it to output 4,000. I want it to output stack size times 40 is equal to, that's a row. Right? Because a row on a train is 4K. Oh no, that's a wagon, isn't it? Yes. Now I'm already using wagon. Well, I'm not using wagon here. We'll put it at G. Yo, G. Yeah, we are using G over there. That's all right. We'll use wagon. So we know that a wagon can hold 4,000. What we care about is 12,000 and 8,000. Wagon times what gives me 1. $3,000. Oh, that's 12 million. It should have been 12,000 divided by 40. 300. Or not? So when we're below 12,000 in our chest, we want to summon a train. Yeah, that's... So instead of doing this double arithmetic, $40 times 3 is 120. So this is going to summon one train. Well, it's going to put 12,000 on the network, right? So while I'm working on this, nothing will happen. So this is putting 1 and 2 on the network. Well, it's putting 1 and 2 on the network, and I didn't want that to happen. So what we're saying here is, if everything is less than 1, then call a train. Well, your everything is 14,000. Well, this doesn't need to be red. You should be outputting a 1. Reading contents onto the green network. Oh yeah, you have to be the red network because everything is equal to 0 is not going to happen. And then you can just put your results right there on the network. I also seriously think this has caused me enough problems that I wish I could find. Like maybe move this out one more. But anyhow, it's not staying on the train. But why are you requesting a train? Are you requesting a train? D is 3. I've got 3 of you requesting a train. If it's less than 12,000, you should be requesting a train. So you're at 9,000. You're at 14,000. You're at 14,000. You're at 14,000. You're at 11,000. You're at 14,000. 11,000. And okay. Yeah. What a rat's nest I'm creating. What a rat's nest I am creating. All right, well, let's bring a train in here and see what happens. You're set to H greater than 4. So if more than half of the wagons are empty, request a train. Or if more than half the wagons are empty, then bugger off. Really? That's who showed up here? Okay, good. Well, at least you have the right programming. We see H is turning on and off constantly. So you're sitting here because half the trains. What is H? H is 3. Less than half the trains. I gotta go greater than equal to 4, by the way. Bugger. So you have 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and 2,000. So basically, I'm in a stuck state where this train is going to sit here. And I don't know that that's a bad thing. Because you have nowhere to deliver. Because these are full up. Because blue science is satiated. So I can't continue testing this to see if it works. All right. I I'm debating whether or not I want to take this wider or whether I want to move a bunch of blue science off to the side, blow stuff up. I don't know. Mustache, that's funny. Is this something I want to carry forward? When I haven't even seen it work. Oh, you're not empty though. Now I need a train to come here again and tell me if this thing is... how do I want to do this? Okay. So now this is going to summon a train. Got to be greater than or equal to 4. So we're seeing this train. And we're seeing that H is bouncing around at around 2. I mean, is there something wrong with just waiting 60 seconds and then leaving? What I really want is an inactivity, but inactivity doesn't cut it. I mean, I could go H greater than 0, so that if any wagon is empty, it leaves, which is probably what I should do. It's been here for a minute, and any wagon is empty, then leave. On the other hand, if it's, I gotta switch music tracks because this is good, but it would bother me. Dungeons 4 is now available. God, I want to play that game. I hope they kept the multiplayer working. Online co-op. Dungeons 3 multiplayer was one of the best co-op experiences I've ever had. Probably the best co-op experience I've ever had. I did co-op with 3 different people in that game. One person did base building, one person did RTS part. And it was just... And it had a good storyline. And it was funny. It was challenging. We lost sometimes and had to start over. I can't recommend that game highly enough. So do I want a behavior in this factory where the train is here but full and waiting to empty out, but then if the factory is not doing anything, I've got a train that's locked. And does that matter? Like this one. This one will sit here until this factory kicks up again. And if another place needs this resource, tough crap, this train is sitting here, sitting on that resource. Because because this base wants it. So I would love to have a... Because what this really should be is 1. If anybody's empty, bugger off. But at this point, why even care about a wagon being empty? If it's been 60 seconds, just leave. You got 60 seconds to dump your cargo. But what I really want is an inactivity and this. I want... I want a condition that applies only to if H is greater than 1. And it's requesting a train. Right, so it's like, and I is greater than 1. Or greater than 0. The problem is, I is going to be greater than 0, I think, immediately. Well, you're not requesting a train now, but if this was empty... Alright, well... Seeing as we're going to do it this way, we're going to do it this way. If I fail this MegaBase, well, I'll just do another one. All right. This should result in a train showing up eventually. I don't know which train. Tell you what, let's make sure it's not one of these trains. Yeah, you need repairs. I know. I was a little overzealous with the shooty. All right. Why haven't you requested a train yet? You have 12,000 in you. I'm out of lamps. Listen, you guys ain't helping. I should just boot up the editor here. I'm just sort of wasting time doing this. Your H is 8. Because all of you are empty. Yeah, you're waiting for source items. Okay. You all went red at the same time? Oh, because your D is not that. Oh. Yeah. That's... I need a clause here that gets it to stay here for at least enough time to unload a little bit to get itself over the threshold. Because it pulls in and immediately these two trigger. So what can I do to lock these? Because 5 seconds ain't going to cut it. So if you've been here for 30 seconds and a wagon goes empty, or if it requests another train, or it's still requesting a train, so what information do I have and what information do I have available or can I make available? So who here is calling for a train? You. How do I do this? So you were telling me that D is greater than 4 because 4 things are calling for trains now. Great. Okay, so I got 4 of these calling for a train. That's good. H is 8 because everybody's hand is empty and you've been here for more than 60 seconds, so also you shouldn't be here anymore. What information could I put on here that would give me access to what I need to know? If... Oh, you're falling lower, huh? So we're now summoning 2 trains? Yeah, we are. Good. That works. I don't know, my brain is fuzzy at this point. I think I'm gonna have to boot up the editor to continue working on this. And that means I gotta transfer a bunch of blueprints and knowledge and stuff. But if the number of empty hands is greater than 0, well, we'll just put it greater than 0. Then there's an empty wagon. And the train is requesting, the station is requesting a train. Then tell this train to leave. But I need a moment for that to not happen. I need an and condition in here of like delay. But 5 seconds of inactivity never happens because at least one wagon is always going to be unloading. Unless the whole thing is stuck. And if the whole thing is stuck, I want an or clause between these two. What about that? 60 seconds have passed and a thing is empty, then it leaves. Otherwise, it just sits here and unloads. And unloads and unloads. But if that's the case, then when one of these has got something in it, so it's been here for a minute. A lot of the wagons have had a chance to dump out. But what about the situation where it wasn't really needed in the first place? Now that can't happen now, can it? Because it's not going to get a train coming here unless it can unload it. And you're going to go full empty. That's fine. We'll give it a couple of tries to puff itself back up. So for a moment, you were requesting a second train. And you still are, but you have a train, so you should be happy now. I guess what I'm wishing for is a way to make H stay static. Okay, here's my situation. This is exactly what I want. I want to know. H is 4. 60 seconds went by. It left. It wasn't empty. It is calling for a train. Now, it wasn't a moment ago. So basically, if none of the wagons go empty, then it should not have been called. But if it gets here, and one of the wagons goes empty, then it leaves. But if none of the wagons go empty, then it doesn't leave. So it'll just sit here unloading. And I don't like that. But it should never just sit here unloading, because at least one of the wagons had to have had space for this train to unload. All right, how do I package this then? Let's assume I'm going to run with this. So first off, I want to be able to flip this, because this doesn't need to be here. That gives me a slightly different setup. And spaceless. Then I need to get this H counter in there, connected to that. That was the wrong connection. You should be outputting a 1. One of you has something in it. Okay, so good. If I do this, H is 8. All right, good. I got it. Oh, good. I got it. I got this. I got an angle. All right. That's not the right setup. So this white light tells me that this is outputting an H of, if H is greater than 0, I don't know. So this white light tells me that this wagon is empty, if there's a wagon here.